I will stick Ashton Jeanty. It's either before or after Breece Hall.
I was gonna say before Breece Hall.
I'll go fine. I'll go before Breece Hall too.
But
Because
I don't know if that's too reactionary based on this season, but there's a lot to be concerned about on Breece Hall's long-term profile based on what we've seen this season.
you know what? I'll put him after Breece Hall because we do.
All
I
right.
can't forget about the season. I can't forget about the season last year where they just had nothing, and it could. I mean, I guess that looking back on it now, it must have been the backup quarterback just was dumping passes off to Breece Hall at an insane rate. Because you remember, I'm gonna pull it up right now in 2023. Let's see. Breece Hall, number 1 in targets amongst running backs with 95 targets. Number 2 in weighted opportunities. Finishes the RB14. Well, he's the RB14 this year, but I believe he was the RB2 last year, and the RB6 in fantasy points per game, with just like a terrible quarterback. And I thought heading into this year that Breece Hall was gonna, with a better offensive line with Aaron Rodgers there. Aaron Rodgers certainly couldn't be as bad as whoever it was last year. A mishmash of people, wasn't it? I can't even remember who the backup quarterback was last year for them.
Oh, it was Wilson. It was, I think, Simeon may have gotten some starts.
Yeah.
Tim Boyle, I think, got a couple of cracks at it.
Tim Boyle is who I was trying to think. I remember Tim Boyle. I don't know why that sticks in my mind, but like anyway, I'll put Ashton Jeanty after Breece Hall, but you could talk me into it in a dynasty startup if we were sitting there on the clock and both tight ends were off the board. And we'll talk about Trey McBride because I've come completely around on Trey McBride. So we're sticking Ashton Jeanty. Like,
and then
why don't we?
While you put him in there, I'm in Tankathon, so let's start doing a little wish casting. What do we think the odds are that Dallas goes at 12? Whether it's trade back or they just do it. He's got to be a first round pick, right? With what's going on with running backs, like you have to think he's a first round pick.
I saw Theo tweeted out that he thinks he's going to go early in the first round. I don't know if Theo Greminger, the head of content at Player Profiler, counts as a NFL draft expert, but he was spot on with Bijan too. So if he does go with that draft capital, like, he's gonna shoot up this list. But Dallas, that would be the stupidest thing for them to do. We would love it for fantasy.
But what about LA? The Chargers at 21.
Oh my God.
Like, that would be insane. There's no way they feel emotionally tied to any of those guys right now. They know Dobbins can't last. Edwards stinks. I think Vidal has promise, but they clearly aren't bought into that just yet.
Either the Chargers or Denver make a ton of sense.
I don't think Minnesota would do it at 28. I could see someone trading up into the second.
Yeah, I just think, and this has been my opinion all along, and this is a way early opinion on the NFL draft, which takes place in April. I just think the helmet matters, and the fact that Bijan went to Texas, and Ashton Jeanty is going to Boise State.
It could hurt him.
I know it shouldn't matter.
It didn't hurt Rashad Penny though.
Rashad Penny late first round. Where did he go? South Dakota State or something?
Man, San Diego State.
San Diego State. I'm sorry.
So same conference. I think he was the 20th pick, if I remember right, of the first round, right around there. So, but you start looking at Taylor, you start getting to the bottom of the draft, and you start seeing a lot of teams where you're like, I don't think they're going to be taking Ashton Jeanty here. And it would be so funny and so Giants for them to take Ashton Jeanty, whether via trade up or round 2, pick 2. But Raiders, round 2, pick 1, loading up the offense. They get Sanders and Jeanty. They're already a pretty defensive-minded team. They have a decent defense already. There's a lot of possibilities. You could stick Jeanty in a lot of places that are realistic, and you're like, yeah, it would make a lot of sense for him to be in the top 20 here in our rankings.
What's just to be gross, And just to make everybody sad, what's a place
Okay.
like what if the Ravens drafted him? Would we just lose our mind? Like you remember Seattle back in the day drafted Kenneth Walker when they had oh shoot, they had a running back already there, and they drafted Kenneth Walker in the second round.
Well, and they
And we
drafted
were like, oh my
Charbonnet when
God.
they had Walker.
Oh, that's right.
That's I'm pretty
right.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
what
okay.
they did. That's what they did.
And we were all like, whoa,
what
whoa,
the
whoa,
hell?
whoa, whoa! You just drafted
Yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson's closest comp. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. They seem to be a little bit too forward thinking of a franchise to spend a late first on a luxury pick like that. But with Derrick Henry and no real RB2 there, it's not necessarily out of the question. I do think they are going to draft a running back this year. I don't know who it's going to be, but
the Ravens are also a smart organization. I don't see them taking a running back in the first round. I was just, trying to play devil's advocate.
No, for sure. There's situations. I mean, they could move on from Jalen Warren and do like a Najee Harris, Jeanty type of thing. I don't know. There's a lot of gross things that could end up happening out there.
For sure. Anyway, so Ashton Jeanty officially planted somewhere between 17 and 18. We'll just say he's at 18.
Yeah, he'll work out to be, when we edit our actual numbers here, he'll work out to be 18. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the Dynasty Cornerstone rankings. Let us know what you think of that in the comments. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're liking it and if you want more of it.